That being said, I think this is going to be a pretty negative.
Yeah.
I imagine from both sides.
Yeah, a little bit here, a little bit there.
All right, welcome in. We are back with another installment of Snob versus Douche. He is the Snob, and I am the Douche. Today we are doing another 2x2. This is where we both pick two albums that we have recently listened to and force the other person to listen to them. And we get together here and share our thoughts. And that typically results in fierce disagreements, dissent, and fisticuffs. Man, I'm
digital fisticuffs.
So how you been?
I'm doing okay. Not up to date as much as I'd like to be with the music. This year so far, I don't know, a little challenging compared to last year. Just in the, my time to actually devote to it, and the stuff I found isn't quite as strong as I was experiencing last year. Last year, I felt like there was just a crap ton of really good jangly pop, and I'm not seeing much of it this time around. But perspective. In another 3 months, I might completely take that back. You never know.
Yeah, some things kind of go in runs or cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is new music, and I mean, people are drawn to things they've never heard. So if it's, you can't just have the same stuff, year after year. I get that, but
yeah,
I'm just having trouble. But yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to keep up. There's a lot of stuff constantly coming out. Okay, let's just go ahead and jump into our 2x2. We'll start with my first choice this time around. This is the second full-length release from the London-based group called, I think, Carolyn. Is it go Carolyn or Caroline? And,
one of the two. I'm not sure the preferred British pronunciation. Yeah.
So it is titled, this is their second album, which is titled Caroline 2. It did receive what I would call fairly widespread acclaim upon its release for its blend of kind of post-punk and avant-garde folk with pop, I guess, if you want to say. So I guess the question is, did it also make the grade for you, sir?
It did not. I unfortunately don't have much to say about it. And even before you picked it, I had listened to it a couple times because I noticed that people seem to really dig it. And I noticed that Carolyn Polachek from Chairlift and solo stuff.
One of your girlfriends.
Yeah, definitely. She was on it, so I took interest. But yeah, I'm just listened to it a handful of times. Outside of that one track that she's on, the whole thing just kind of seemed background to me. I can't say I understand the appeal of it. Maybe it's good to study to or read to. I found it kind of boring. How did you feel about it? You're the one that picked it, so I was curious.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I basically chose this one anticipating that I would not particularly care for it. I wasn't a huge on the first album.
Oh, okay. So this is my first experience with them.
Yeah, but I thought it would be an interesting one for us to talk about just based on all of the kind of hype, I guess. I would say I am also, well, I am maybe not as negative as you, but I'm generally am underwhelmed by it. Say the beginning of the album, it feels like it's teasing, songs almost feel like they don't really get going. They just kind of
they don't really go anywhere.
They just kind of are. It's like an intro that never ends. I don't know. A few songs in, it does pick up. I definitely wouldn't say that I hate it. I just don't particularly care for it. I really don't like the vocals, I think. is part of it, especially when they crank up the auto tune. You know,
Okay.
I think that happens more in the second half of the album. So when the songs kind of pick up, they get more of the auto tune going. But I also, the fact that it has, you know, that extreme auto tuning doesn't necessarily mean that I wouldn't like it. But for some reason on here, it doesn't work for me. I will say that I did find that I liked it more after I listened to it a handful of times, but I don't know. I would say that I appreciate what they're doing more than I want to listen to it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does.
And I also think that this might be one where if I saw them perform this live, it might give me an added or a better appreciation for the album. But yeah,
I could see that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Because it is a bigger band, isn't it? I guess I don't know. I didn't delve too far into it, having not really liked
I'm not
it.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't even know.
But yeah, I think that there's a wide variety of instrumentation on here.
Yeah. I guess I'm comparing them a little bit and maybe mixing them up with that also British group that's been popular the last 5 years or so. And I'm totally going to screw up the name. Black Country, it's a 4-letter.
Black Country New Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a lot different than Black Country New Road.
Well, they're certainly more traditional folk, but I don't know. I see some similarities there for whatever reason. Probably just because I tried it and didn't like it. I thought it was boring. But
okay.
But yeah, that was yeah.
Yeah, so neither of us like that one. I feel like we're gonna have. I feel like this is gonna be pretty negative.
Yeah,
negative and contentious 2x2.
Absolutely. And that brings us to my first pick, which is the new album by the band Lucius. It's a self-titled record. It is their 5th proper full length. They have a 6th full length, but it's actually just a reimagining of one of their earlier records. So 5th proper. They are technically currently a 4-piece, but they're led by, and the reason they're famous is they're led by 2 tandem female lead singers, Jess Wolfe and Holly Lasig. Stylistically, I'd say they're kind of indie pop in general, but certainly elements of, new wave, 80s dance pop, glam elements, mixed with some more traditional folky, Americana elements here and there as well. What did you think of this one? It doesn't seem like you're a fan.
Yeah, I would say I don't particularly care for it. I like the vocals and I like the vocal harmonies.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't find myself connecting with anything in the lyricism. Like I'm not,
sure.
I'm not, which I feel like with music, like with this style of music, which is fairly slick.
Yeah.
Very polished production.
Absolutely.
I'm left looking for something to connect with lyrically that I'm just not getting from this. I will say again, there are definitely some songs that I like, but overall, didn't really do anything for me. I mean, I kind of like how it just kind of shifts genres a little bit here and there, and I think it is like musically executed at a high level.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know a lot of folks really like it, but it really didn't do a lot for me. I will say I listened to it again this morning. That's where I kind of warmed up to a few more of the songs, but to a few of the songs more than I had before. But yeah, I assume that you are completely the opposite to me on all of
Yeah,
that.
it's one of the better records I've heard so far this year. Certainly, and I'm completely opposite of you. And, I'm really keying into the lyrics for the most part.
Okay.
I'm really impressed by what they put together there. Yeah, they're known for the beautiful harmonies, and this album is no different than what they're known for. A lot of great stuff, a lot of great singing in there. Yeah, one of the favorites this year so far. Peter's out a little towards the end. Last couple tracks are, not as good, but up until that point, I mean, it's 11 songs on the record, just one after another. Almost no duds. So yeah, really, really great record for me, at least.
Okay,
But
that was Lucius, and it was self-titled. I don't know if I feel like maybe we
correct.
forgot to mention that. Self-titled. Oh, you probably did mention it. I thought
did.
it was the 4th album, but you said it was the 6th?
5th. Yeah,
5th.
5th proper.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
A lot. What's your second pick?
Yeah, my second one here is from a long-running Oakland duo called Tune Yards. This is, I think, their 6th LP that was recently released, titled Better Dreaming. It's on 4AD, continues their somewhat dancey, funky, experimental pop, possibly mellowing out a little bit here with age. What did you think about this one?
I am a fan. I've been following them since, pretty early on.
Yeah, me too.
But I have to preface that fact with maybe a few years ago, maybe around the second or third record, I just really soured on the singer's voice. I find her voice to be really grating at times. And certainly there was a little less of that on this record. I think it sort of reached its pinnacle a couple records ago. So certainly there's the rough edges mellowed out a little on this one. But yeah, unfortunately, just only a few of the songs grabbed me on this one. I just found the rest of the record just okay. It didn't really have a lot of standouts. How about you?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit warmer than you, but I also am not. I think it's probably a solid Tune Yards album, but maybe not particularly essential. I think it has all the elements that you would come to expect from a Tune Yards album, and again, I think it's well executed. That blended fusion of like world music, funk, dance, R&B. I feel like maybe for me, I wanted a couple more bangers, maybe, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
Like
something a little higher, up more upbeat, funkier.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I think I said like maybe mellowing out with age, but maybe it's just just where they were at to have a little more of a mellow album. Some good songs, and then a lot of it okay, I would say. Maybe the more hardcore or diehard fans will find more to latch onto here than I did, but I would say I'm not as down on it as you, but I'm also I don't love it. So we're continuing a fairly negative trend.
In the family, we all get free, we all get free. Kid, this is my shit, don't listen to me. But that's just it, let's all get free, we all get free. In the family, we all get free, we all get free. You keep the rhythm alive. That you believe is all right. Baby's all right, kids are all right. Baby was up all night.
Okay, what's your second pick?
Well, I'm certainly curious to find out how you felt about this last one. So my second pick is now, and I preface this, I probably saying her name wrong, but it's Mei Semones is how I'm pronouncing it. And her first album, it's her debut record called Animaru, and it's out on Bayonet Records. And like I said, debut record, female, Brooklyn-based, indie pop, singer, songwriter, guitarist, features some lyrics in Japanese, and incorporates a lot of jazz, bossa nova elements. What were your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I would say of the 4 albums that we talked about here in our 2x2, this is the one I had listened to the extensively, and in full beforehand, before we made our selections. And I think this is easily my favorite of this batch. I think the album as a whole is fairly uncategorizable. It does have a lot of jazz guitar. She is a classically trained jazz guitarist. And then it has, bossa nova, baroque pop, but even some heavier rock moments in it as well. And a lot of strings, a lot of string arrangements. I like her vocal style. I like I know it's partially in Japanese, but it's oddly I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like you don't know what language it is. Maybe that's because I can't speak Japanese, though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Normally, I would be bothered by that. Not bothered, but just I wouldn't connect to it. But for whatever reason, this one I didn't have trouble with. Yeah.
I will say some of the songs have a as heard at Starbucks vibe. I bet anything they play songs off of this at Starbucks, which that's not necessarily a problem. I'm just something. There's a certain vibe.
If they don't, they should.
Yeah. But anyway, I think it's solid, enjoyable listen, and I am suspecting once again you're also a fan.
Well, I mean, that I pick my picks are usually my favorites. From
I guess something that you had just mentioned, I'm a little bit surprised because knowing that you're less into non-English vocals, non-English. Although,
I'm not even really.
It's not even a ton.
No, it's not a ton. And I'm not a super big jazz guy either. But maybe it's because I've become just kind of, I don't know, jaded, and I just need new influences or something. But I mean, what she's incorporating here, I found really enjoyable. Certainly a departure from what I'm usually drawn to, both lyrically and stylistically, but also similar to style of another new album I'm pretty crazy about, the new Saya Gray record. That I'll mention later on, which also shares jazz influence. So maybe it's just a thing right now that I'm really digging, but just a really interesting, engaging listen. I'm looking forward to future work, because certainly there's some elements here where she's not really putting herself out there confidently, and I could see, in the future, that her delivery improving and even better. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from her for sure.
Yeah, solid debut album.
Something I like about it. Something I like it. Something I like about it. But when the train comes to a stop, I won't try to fight.
So I have a number, like usual. I have a number of albums that, just kind of quick takes to go over from the past quarter. Plus, I have a handful of albums that I got to kind of late. Did you have any records you wanted to mention?
I might after. How about you go ahead, and then we'll see.
Sure. Yeah, so I always start off with the records,
some lowlights.
Lowlights, my disappointments from the quarter, things I was really excited about, but ultimately just kind of disappointed in. The new Sleigh Bells record, Bunky, Becky, Birthday Boy, which is a lot of fun to say. Out on Mom+Pop Records. Huge fan of this band. The new one, unfortunately, just had only a couple standout tracks. The title track, for example, is just it's fun, but it's just catchy gibberish. So I was pretty disappointed by that.
I did not even listen to that.
The third record from Great Grandpa called Patience Moonbeam, out on Run for Cover Records. I had high hopes for this one, as I really love their first two records, but unfortunately it just had few highlights and just felt really disjointed. Fans of the band, if you're a fan, you're better off checking out the lead singer's debut solo release from 2023, which I wasn't even aware it existed until just recently. Her name is Al Menny. It's Menne, and it's called Freak Accident. So check out that if you're a fan. But and then thirdly, we have the new record from Tennis, Face Down in the Garden is what it was called, and it's out on Mutually Detrimental. It was unfortunately just a tepid release from an otherwise great outfit. Moving on to my short list of other albums that I really enjoyed that I got to this past quarter. That one I mentioned earlier, Saya Gray. Her second full-length record called Saya, just her first name, out on Dirty Hit Records. And this one, it definitely stand out from this year so far. Has some really tasty jazz elements. I hate to say the word tasty, but it just fit. Jazz elements, great lyrics. If you're on the fence or you're interested in that at all, check out her Tiny Desk concert out on the Tubes. I've watched it a number of times. Really good stuff. The new Mamalarky record. I know you reviewed this one called Hex Key out on Epitaph Records. Another favorite from the year so far. Just great female-led indie pop stuff. Bill Fox, his album Resonance is out on 11th Hour Recordings. Recommended if you like lo-fi early Bob Dylan.
Yeah, so I really like Bill Fox a lot.
Yeah,
it like this new one. I listened to it. It sounds like it could have come from the same sessions as his earlier so his like from the 90s.
Okay.
Like it feels this. It has that same. It's very like it takes me back. Yeah,
sure.
I like that record.
Yeah.
I like that record also.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with him, so yeah, check him out. I was happy with that. Tobacco City, I think it was one I picked up from you. Album called Horses out on Scissor Tail. Just scratches an Americana itch for me. I'm not hearing a lot of good Americana right now, so that was happy to hear that. And next one is Sacred Paws. Paws. The album called Jump Into Life out on Merge Records. Just another great indie pop record. They're a Scottish duo. The new Blondshell record, If You Asked for a Picture, it's called, and it's out on Partisan Records. Her second full length. Just more good 90s influenced rock. I know you liked her last one. Did you listen to this one at all?
I really tried. I listened to it at least 5 times. I think there's something. I feel like I'm not like the what really connected with me on the first record was the lyricism, and for some reason on here it doesn't land with me the same way.
I had trouble with it at first. I persevered, which I do sometimes.
I want to try and go back to it again. But yeah, I tried.
Yeah, I feel like for
some reason it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird sometimes you listen to a record and you're expecting the artist to put their really great songs up front. And when they don't do that, it's harder to get into. This one was where an odd album where I didn't like the songs until the middle. So it just kind of threw me a little. But, to each his own. The new Ezra Furman album, now referred to as Miss Ezra Furman. The album is called Goodbye Small Head, out on Bella Union record. Just, more good stuff. It took me a little while to get into this one, but, there's definitely a lot of good tracks. More good stuff from this prolific singer-songwriter, best known for their work soundtracking the Netflix show Sex Education, which also is a really great show, if you haven't checked that out. Matt Berninger of the band The National, his new solo record Get Sunk, out on Concord Records. Just another great album from him. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. It's very good. It's very strong. The new Segall record called Possession, out on Drag City Records. I'm calling this my first foray into the Segall verse because obviously, I've tried before and I just never it never clicked for me. But this one, was a little more straightforward. Sort of rock record that I do enjoy quite a bit. The new album by Yeule, Evangelic Girl is a Gun, is the name of the record, and it's out on Ninja Tune Records. I recently caught her performance on John Mulaney's live Netflix show. That's the second time I've mentioned Netflix in this episode. I just want to point that out there, and that's very odd.
Yeah.
John Mulaney had her on, and I was very intrigued by her performance. So I decided to check the record out. Recommended if you like weird female pop singers. She definitely is very strange. The new Hotline TNT record, Raspberry Moon, out on Third Man Records, one of your favorite labels. It's I like the last one quite a bit better. This one took a little bit longer for me to latch into, but it's another one where the start of it isn't as good, but it clicks in the middle for some reason. Pretty strong as well. Good stuff. And forgive me for murdering his last name, but Tunde Adebimpe, the lead singer from TV on the Radio, first solo record called The Black Bolts, out on Sub Pop Records. First solo set from him, from the current from the former or current singer of the much missed TV on the Radio. I'd seen they had gotten back together recently. I don't know if that was just touring, playing some shows, but I wish they would get back together. Hot off of his recent performance on the Star Wars show Skeleton Crew. I don't know if you knew that he had a starring role in that. Star Wars
I
show.
did not
Very
know
strange.
that, and I did not see that Skeleton Crew show. I did not see that.
I liked it. It was a lot of fun, but certainly surprised to see him starring in it. So, but yeah, very good stuff there. What about you? Did you have any additional highlights?
I thought maybe I had. So the band, I think it's Male. I don't know how to say it. It's where it's MHAOL. The album Something Soft on Merge Records. So I liked the first one. This record, apparently the lead vocalist stepped away. I think I don't want to. I read for the reason, but I don't want to speculate here. But
sure.
she stepped away, so she's not on this record, which makes this kind of a different album. And I tried to listen. I tried to. I guess what I'm trying to say is I was a little bit disappointed. It didn't really work for me, and I'm not sure if it's just because of that vocalist change. It also feels like it has a little bit of a different tone to it overall as well.
I agree. I had the same experience with it.
So you listened to it?
Yeah, I liked the last one quite a bit, and yeah, this one just didn't really land. I didn't know that background though.
Yeah, I'll mention like this one you probably wouldn't like. Eli Winter, A Trick of the Light. This is one. It's on 3 Lobed Recordings. It's kind of jazz, but with rock and other like kind of more of a fusiony thing. But it's instrumental. So I feel like I feel like I'm not really prepared. My recollection is instrumental, but I like that one. Let me see if I've got anything else that I have not talked about. Did you like the Lifeguard record? I'm just asking because we featured it. We had that on. We had their original thing that turned out to be two EPs slapped together.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm behind. So that is in my current. That's in the hopper right now. It's percolating. So I've only listened to it once. I got to get back to it and listen and turn it over a couple times. But so far, it sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on it
than the EP too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty high on it. I'm gonna see what happens when I come back to it a little bit later this year. Did you listen to from like the new Stereolab album or the new Pulp album? Did you like either of those, or were you down on the legacy artists? I don't know that you're a particularly huge fan of either to begin with.
I'm a pretty big fan of Stereolab. Upon revisiting Stereolab's work recently, I found out that I wasn't as big of a fan as I thought I was.
Okay.
because they go a little instrumental, a little electronic. So I mean, it's a little more hit and miss for me with them, but I do love them. Pulp, I like a couple Pulp records. Unfortunately, I'm more of a greatest hits level listener for Jarvis Cocker. I just couldn't spare the time for him this time around. I only gave it, I think, maybe half a listen. I listened to a few tracks and I was just like, I can't do it. So yeah, I didn't get too far into that, but I know you're a big fan. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, fairly well. Which one? Well, the Pulp.
Pulp, yeah.
Yeah, the Pulp I think is strong. I don't think it's like essential in their catalog. But I think it's worthy. I think this is what I said. I think it's worthy of being a Pulp album.
Sure. Like, and that is impressive to come back after all this time and actually release a worthy record. I will say that. I'm just not a huge fan.
Exceeds expectations as someone that's a fan.
Yeah.
With low expectations, perhaps. Yep. Although,
I will say I'm looking forward to listening to the new Smut record. That's in the hopper next as well. There's a new Frankie Cosmos.
The Smut record I talk about in the video that comes up right before this one that hasn't come out yet.
Sure.
I don't know that
spoiler alert.
I don't know that I come across particularly strongly or negatively on it. I will say that I do not like it as much as the previous album. And I think I do say that in the video, but yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you think when you hear that.
Yep. New Waves record.
I guess since we haven't run too long here, maybe I'll mention a few things that are coming out in the next few months. But you go ahead if you have anything else.
The New Waves record is also in the hopper. I'm looking forward to that. Frankie Cosmos. I'll check that out. There's a couple of new Slumberland records that I'm planning to listen to as well. Yeah, and then obviously there was a new batch today that I haven't even really gone over. So yeah, it never stops.
Yeah, Fourth of July was I didn't see much. So or probably not too much. A few things are coming out in the coming couple months that are I don't know, that I'm interested in. Aloe Darlin have a new album that's coming out just next week. Bright Nights is the name of that album.
Didn't they just have an album that came out recently?
I don't think so.
Maybe one late last year.
Wrong?
I don't know. I recognize
it. Maybe I'm. You know what happens sometimes is I'll see something is coming out at a certain time, and I don't know that it's already been out, and that this is just a re-release. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm not saying that's what's happening here, but that does happen sometimes.
Yeah, it does. They'll do a digital release, a physical release. Sometimes it's a re-release and a new label.
Right. There's all that stuff.
It gets a little confusing.
Fortitude Valley, that band, part of the Problem Baby, that comes out in August. Superchunk, I'm a longtime Superchunk fan. I'm always interested. So I think this will be probably a politically charged effort out of them. Songs in the key of yikes. I'm not sure. I don't have super high expectations for that, but I'm a fan. Prolapse, who I don't think have put out a record in forever, are back with I Wonder When They're Going to Destroy Your Face. The Beths, we both love the Beths. They have a new album coming out called Straight Line Was a Lie. I'm a fan of Suede. They have a new album called Antidepressants in
I didn't know
September. Saint Etienne, who we talked about recently that you did not like, but they're putting out another album in September. It's supposedly their last album, like it will be their last release. I don't know. Nation of Language, I like. They have they're putting out an album on Sub Pop. Their first for Sub Pop. The band Sloan have a new album based on the bestseller coming out in September.
What about something that came out last week or 2 weeks ago? U.S. Girls. Are you a fan?
I wouldn't say I'm a huge. Did you like it? Do you like?
I don't. I tried it out, and I didn't get it.
I wouldn't say that I'm negative. I'm just not super into it. I get it. I'm just not. In some ways, I feel like I should. I feel like it's kind of in my wheelhouse in a certain way, but just not. Anyway.
The new Bug Club record, it just kind of fell just below expectations, unfortunately.
See, for me, I liked it more than the last one.
Really? Okay.
Ultimately, at first I didn't, and then with repeated listens, I think I don't know. There's just something about it. It worked better for me overall. I'm not saying it's like, I'm not saying you got to go out and re-listen to this until you like it. But
no, I probably will though.
It ultimately did work for me more than the last. Yeah, and I like the last one.
I
think you liked that last one more than I did. But I like the last one too. Anything else you want to mention?
I was going to ask you about Comet Gain. Are you a fan?
Yes.
And that's all you'll say.
and I like this album.
That seemed very definitive.
Yes.
Turnstile. Have you tried that? People will go crazy for the Turnstile, and I didn't. I know.
I actually saw that somebody has it as the best album of the year so far. Some publication. No, I don't.
Not my thing. But anyway, I tried the Comic Gain too, and I didn't get it. They've been around for a long time, and I was aware of them. I have one of their records, but I just. Yeah.
I find that the more I listen to, I find that over time, when I go back to a Comic Game album, I find that I like it even more. I like pretty much all of them, all of the main albums. They have a bunch of like what I would say are like digital only releases that many I've never even heard, but the actual standalone albums I tend to like, even though they shift in styles, like from album to album they shift.
Sure.
I do tend to like what they're doing.
There's another Reds, Pinks, and Purples album coming out, but
So that
do
just
not
came
be
out-
fooled.
That just came out today,
Just came out.
or on the 4th of July.
Do not be fooled. It's not new.
But I see it being. I actually did. The reason I know is because I saw it reviewed. It's being reviewed like it's a new album, because I think it's all things that were previously released digital only, and so this is the first
released.
physical.
Yeah.
And I saw someone say that it's it's excellent. I'm sure it's good.
Yeah.
But I mean
it's got songs on it that I like, and maybe the sequencing is better and it changes the experience. But
I feel a little weird about things that are repackaged.
Well, I mean, with people like us that actually care about keeping up with it for some reason, it's hard to spend the time on it.
Right. I probably haven't heard most of the songs on that if they were previously digital only, although some of them I probably have.
Well, I think I downloaded 3 records last year, so I'm assuming that I've heard most of it. And I think 2 of them were digital.
Any others you want to mention?
No, I mean, this could just be our format from now on. We just read off a list.
Just go. Do you listen to this one? No.
Super interesting.
Very interesting. It's like riveting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm having a good time. That's all that matters. So,
that is all that matters at the end of the day.
We should probably just end it. I don't know if I said that yet.
Let's just go ahead and end it.
บ้านน้อยหลังนี้ฉันไม่อยากมองเพราะมีสายตาคุณจ้องมองฉันอยู่ทุกวันผ่านมาที่ไรหน้าต่างค่อยๆแง้มบานจนฉันหวาดสะท้านไม่กล้าเดินผ่านออกมาให้เห็นศอกนี้ตรอกนี้ฉันไม่อยากเดินผ่านมาทุกคราสะเทินเพราะเจอหนุ่มทะเลนปากคอล้อลายเที่ยวได้เป็นวักเป็นเวรจนฉันแทบจะเร้นไม่อยากเจอหน้าเพราะเบื่อเรือฟังรูปร่างก็หล่อเหตุใดถึงเหมือนเส้นนักอย่างนี้จังก็ไม่รักถึงมีทองสักร้อยช่างถ้าเล่นอย่างนี้ชาตินี้คงไม่มีหวังฉันกลัวจะต้องไปนั่งกลืนน้ำตาเพราะคนเจ้าชู้
One thing I forgot to mention is the new Alan Sparhawk. Did you give that a listen?
Yeah, we should have had this in there. So,
well, you can add it back in.
No, I did not. I did not listen to it. Did you?
You didn't? Okay. Well, yeah, it's really important to put that back in.
Did you listen to it?
I did. It's certainly better than the solo release that he put out recently. Because that was just
so. This is with Trampled by Turtles.
It is literally that's the name of it.
I'm going to straight up say I'm not the biggest Trampled by. I've seen Trampled by Turtles like probably 5 times, and that was all a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've never seen them, but I just knew that they were jam bandy stuff. And
I know a lot of people that love them and still go out of their way to go see them. So
well, I mean, I just came back from Duluth, and I got invited to a show, and I'm just like, I have to decline. I'm not really a fan.
So what do you think? So for this album, then.
The you don't really notice that it's trampled by turtles. I'll say that.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
I didn't find that there were tracks I loved, but there were a lot of tracks I liked. So it's a decent record. Didn't blow me away. You know,
I had
look
intended
forward
to. I would kind of, taking a piss on Trampled by Turtles, but
Yeah.
I had intended to listen to it, and I think that just made me less inclined to prioritize it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
the last Alan Sparhawk solo, that I get it, but it's not. It just didn't come together for me.
no.
It could have. I can imagine even that. That style it could have come together for me, but it just didn't.
It's funny. There's a lot of legacy indie artists over the past 10 or 15 years that kind of did that. I don't know if you ever listened to the Stephen Malkmus record that was kind of similar, where it was kind of a electronic. Abstraction.
Yeah, I listened.
I didn't like that one either.
But a lot of guys, Paul McCartney put out an electronic album in the 90s.
Yeah.
When he was,
Yeah, it's just it's weird. I don't know. I haven't liked any of them.
Did you like the last two Low albums?
Yes, a lot.
Yeah, and those those do the thing with like auto tune and electronics. And I think those are fantastic albums.
They are. They are. Yeah. I know TikTok.
I never had TikTok on my phone. Do you have TikTok on your phone?
No, absolutely not.
I just put it on my phone so that I could post. I repost my shorts, my YouTube shorts onto TikTok.
That makes sense. Yeah.
What's interesting is it's almost all Thailand that watches them. It's the most. It's like TikTok doesn't know what to do with it, so it just pushes them to people around, locally, and then it's just recently started to spread. But anyway, TikTok is so annoying. You open the app and a video starts playing instantly, and it's always because I've never made it through a whole video. I always switch off because I'm going in there to do something with my little shit,
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, it's always like borderline child pornography. Like that's the way I would put it. That's what's playing. It's like a young. They're going to be Thai because it's pushing me Thai videos. It's a young Thai girl dancing often to the same music. Different girl, different because I think there's built-in music. I don't think that's much different than the way it is in the U.S. That's what the whole platform is based on. Yeah. Yeah, seemingly. But I think because I have not engaged, the algorithm has nothing. The algorithm for me, so it gives me the keeps on serving you lowest common denominator shit. Yeah. But I find it annoying that you can't open the app without a video playing. It instantly starts playing. It's so frustrating to me. Like I don't want to see that. And because a lot of times I'll pick up my phone. I'm listening to something here. I pick up my phone. I want to look at something, and then now it's blasting. Now I'm blasting this garbage.